Wow, interesting. Okay, I guess that didn't work. Oh, YouTube. Hang on. I don't think I can stop it. Okay. Interesting. Frustrating. Well, okay, YouTube, this is going to be slightly different than the Rumble stream. Obviously, I'm still trying to learn some settings. So I'll explain it all a little bit later in the show, but I'll let a couple people get here first. Oh, obviously, I did not mean to go live at this moment. However, apparently I did. So it's just a couple minutes until we start. Oh, hey, what's up, Lucid? Oh, Lucid, good to see you. Good to see you, man. So we'll get started in just a minute here. My intention, is this not working now? Here we go. Maybe it is working. I was trying to go live at noon, and apparently that didn't work. Didn't work. But we are going to go live noon on Rumble. Apparently there's a toggle switch on YouTube I have to fix. Crazy. Anyway, so we'll get going in about 3 minutes. That's funny. Wow. So anyway, hey, all you YouTube people, this is a bonus show. We're going to get started in about 3 minutes. And that's when the Rumble show should kick off as well. I thought I had all the settings right, so that, let me just make sure I'm not live on Rumble, and then I'll just get going. Yeah, we'll be live in just 3 minutes on Rumble. Anyway, I've been doing this live streaming now for most of the year. Or, since the beginning of the year. You'd think I'd have all this sorted out yet. Each day I learn something new. So that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about today. Yeah. Very cool. Very cool. So I just need to keep refreshing and seeing if we're... Okay. I guess we're live. F it. We'll do it live. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay. I'll explain everything in just a minute, but I guess we're starting a couple minutes early. What can you do? Okay. That didn't throw me off at all. Anyway, well, I guess let's get into it. Let's get into it. So, yeah, let's get into it with, let me do the little intro thing, and we'll get into the monologue. Of course, that's not working. Why would it? All right, here we go. Hey! Happy almost New Year, folks. And it's that magical time when gyms are packed, kale sales skyrocket, and the collective delusion of New Year, New Me sweeps the nation. But hear me out. I'm not here to rain on the resolution parade. No, I'm here to hijack the bandwagon, take it for a spin. Let's talk about resolutions. I mean, sure, aiming to fit into those jeans from a decade ago is cute and all, but let's set our sights a little higher. Last year, yours truly stepped into the wild world of live streaming. Think of it as a midlife crisis, but with fewer sports cars and more bad webcam angles. And you know what? It's like teaching a cat to salsa dance. It was clumsy, unpredictable, mildly entertaining. But in the midst of it all, I learned a few things. Some other things I still haven't learned. So many things. So now I'm pretty comfortable in front of a live camera. But here's the kicker. I'm not here for applause. No, I'm here to propose a resolution that doesn't involve guilt trips or calorie counting. Do something new. Not try a new diet new, no. More like learn Klingon new. Because why limit ourselves to the same old when the world is bursting with possibilities? Embrace the unknown. Like it's the last slice of pizza. Savor it. Enjoy it. Maybe regret it a little in the morning. Take a leap, even if it's into a pool of uncertainty. Remember, life's like a box of chocolates. Mostly sweet, sometimes nutty, occasionally filled with coconut. So here's the challenge for you. Pick something that gives you the same rush as finding money in an old coat pocket. Whether it's salsa dancing, learning to cook something beyond ramen, mastering the art of not embarrassing yourself on a live stream. Good luck with that one. Because if 2023 has taught us anything, it's like life's too short for the mundane. Let's make 2024 the year of stepping out of our comfort zones, okay? So as the clock ticks and the confetti falls, let's resolve to embrace the chaos. Laugh at the mishaps, boldly go where no resolution has gone before. Cheers to a new year filled with new adventures, questionable decisions, and stories that will make even our future selves raise an eyebrow in disbelief. It's going to be a great year, y'all. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffee Nuance Show. Best censored commentary and news show live right now. Flame on. Okay, here we are. New year, everyone. New year. Yeah, it is 12 o'clock somewhere. And, but we got a number of people watching us. Anyway, every day, I tell you what, this is kind of amusing that this happened today. I'm still learning how to live stream. I'm still learning. And it reminds me, it's a lot easier if you have somebody that you can go to, if there's an expert, if there's someone that's doing this. I don't know anyone that live streams like I do. And so I can't ask for advice on how to get my settings right, how to do things better. I can't find anyone. And when I look and I search online, it's rather confusing to me. Today, I thought, obviously I got a setting wrong, I thought I would be able to start the live stream at about 5 minutes prior to noon on the West Coast, 3 on the East. And then YouTube and Rumble would automatically turn it on at noon. Well, they just went live. I didn't mean for that to happen. But again, it's every day we're learning something new, trying to get better. That's what I've been doing all year. But I tell you what, if you told me a couple years ago that I'd be, like the first 100 days of this year, I did a live stream every day. Yeah. I wouldn't have believed it because I really had a lot of anxiety about being live. Not being able to edit what I said. Thinking that I would have all these verbal crutches. And one of the things that I did work on this year was making sure that I wasn't saying, I still do that a lot. But I've worked on it, and I've got better. And now it feels like I'm kind of a live streamer, And then near the end in October, Rumble decided to pay me for a month for live streaming. So that was really cool. I would say that resolution for me was a success. Now, did the channel grow? No, not really. Am I up to 10,000 subscribers? No. In fact, I have less subscribers than I did at the beginning of the year. But we're not going to let the numbers matter, okay? What I did want to do this year was just be comfortable live streaming. And now I'm comfortable live streaming, even though I still don't have the tech down. Even though I still can't figure out how to start the show without glitches and errors. That's still happening. It's rather frustrating for me. And I wish there were someone that I could talk to that could set me straight on some of this stuff. But anyway, that's what I wanted to share with you to start off the show. We got 2 weeks before the new year. And I know new year, new me, totally cliche. Most resolutions people don't stick with. But I did with live streaming, and I'm really happy that I did. In fact, I've live streamed so much I kind of forget how to even make videos. Because I've just been live streaming this whole year. I haven't made videos at all. So I would say that that's a success. And I want you to think about what you want to try next year. That's my challenge to you. Pick something, anything. Pick something scary. It's okay. I did it. I did it. You can too. And if there's anything, like if you're thinking about maybe starting a YouTube channel or you want some advice, I've learned a lot. Obviously, I'm still not the best at doing this, but you can always send me a message and I'm happy to give advice and maybe walk you through some of the stuff that you can get going if this is something that you're interested in doing. But if it's something else, I just say just go for it, because we turn around in a year's gone by. We turn around a year's gone by. It's so quick. So anyway, we may talk about that more in the after show, but we got a number of stories to get to today, and I'm going to warn you, there's a lot of negativity, a lot of negative news right now. So I want to tell you about it, try to put it in perspective, and then end on some good news, okay? So let's get to the first story, and this is actually pretty exciting. Javier Milei, you sick of this guy yet? Anyway, he won Argentina's presidency, promising severe cuts. Guess what? Days in, he slashed spending, devalued the currency, and initiated austerity. This means halting projects, layoffs, subsidy cuts, reducing federal ministries by half. The currency devaluation worsens inflation. It's already at 140%. Sparking fears of increased poverty. Milei's radical measures, while aiming for economic reconstruction, face criticism due to their potential to induce recession and public outcry. The IMF supports the reforms but warns of a political challenge. To soften the blow, some subsidies will increase for the poorest, but crucial details remain vague, including job cuts and increased costs for essentials like energy and transportation. So, yeah, he promised cuts. He promised to come in and in Argentina to come in and just tear it up. He's trying to save the country. And so he needed to do some drastic reform, drastic change. And he's already done it. Like I said, he's eliminated half of the what am I saying? Half the departments of the government. Just cut them. They're gone. Now, a lot of them weren't 100% cut. Many of them were cut, but some of the people were shuffled into other departments and whatnot. But he's really coming in with the chainsaw. This is him with the chainsaw. Coming in with the chainsaw to the bureaucracy of Argentina. And I think that this is really exciting because, you know what? In the U.S., we've got a lot of economic problems that are looming. And it doesn't seem to me like any politician is actually willing to be making the big cuts that might be necessary to save the economy. I just don't see that with anyone. No one talks about it, you know. Even the Republicans, you know, they say they want to make the, you know, smaller government, you know, that lie. Government gets bigger every year. It's never gotten smaller, right? It got big, you know, it got even bigger under George W. Bush than it did under any president. So, you know, that's just a talking point. It's totally not true. Our government gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And that's a lot of funding. And while we are not where Argentina is right now, Argentina's in dire straits. They're having to be radical to try to save the country. That could be coming here as well. And so I think what's going to be interesting is we can actually see in real time how this affects Argentina. Is this a model that can be successful? Is it possible to cut massive parts of the government and have it still operate and everything? So I think it's exciting because then we'll be able to see if that works. That's one of the great things. You know, that's one of the nice things that I like about having 50 states in the country. You can try things out in certain states, see if they work. And if they work, then you can copy them. If they don't work, then you don't copy them. Here in Oregon, we tried, hey, let's see what it's like decriminalizing all the drugs. I don't think it worked very well at all. But we were able to try it out, and the rest of the country can then see, hey, is that something that we want to do? Do we want tens of thousands of zombies walking the street bent over? You can decide for that in your state. I would say no. But anyway, I think that this is exciting, though. Argentina's going to try these drastic measures, and we can see if it has a positive outcome or not. And if it does, that might be something that we can consider too, because things aren't looking so good for us here in the U.S. either. But let's get into it. Uh-oh. Yikes. Yikes. Hang on a sec. I just got to see if you... I switched this mouse. And you can actually hear it clicking. Oh. Bad, bad, bad. Bad mouse. Anyway. The Congressional Budget Office, CBO, predicts a rise in U.S. unemployment from 3.9 to 4.4% by the end of 2024, potentially impacting about 7.4 million Americans in the workplace. Yikes. This forecast stems from economic adjustments and policy changes, leading to a contradiction, or a contraction, if I can read, in the gross domestic product. Weaker consumer spending and decreased non-residential investment are anticipated to slow down the economy, projecting a decline in real GDP growth by 2.5% this year to 1.4% in 2024. Recent jobless claims with new filings and ongoing unemployment benefit claims echo this outlook, indicating a tightening labor market. And it's not just that. I think what's going on with AI, I think it's a much, much bigger deal than you think. That's my take on things. Much bigger than a lot of us realize. If you haven't played around with AI, I was playing around with AI this weekend, making some music with it. It's incredible. It was incredible how quick it was just making some background music. Insane. But it can do so much. And then we're seeing all these robots and, you know, autonomous vehicles. I don't think it's looking great for lots of people, especially those people that don't have extra skills or don't have, jobs that are going to be in need. That there are jobs that we're going to lose to automation, to AI, to robots, to all that stuff. I've been saying for a long time with the autonomous driving. The number one job for men without a college degree in like half the states of the country is truck driving. And if they're able to take out, let's say, 90% of that work, with automated driving trucks, wow, that's going to be really, 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 really big deal. So I'm just trying to raise issue with that, prepare for the coming doom. I don't want to be all, doom and gloom, but we need to be a little realistic. Anyway, speaking of this, maybe you can just put all your savings into gold. Yeah. Costco, beyond its usual offerings, now sells 1 ounce gold bars online for $2,069.99 each. With limits per membership, these bars sell out quickly and have racked up over $100 million in sales in the last quarter alone. Wow. This move coincides with Costco's thriving profits during the pandemic, attracting new members, driving its stock price up by 45%. How much stock in Costco do I have? None. Yeah. Gold prices are soaring due to various factors like anticipated interest rates cuts, a weakened dollar, global tensions, making gold an attractive investment due to its perceived stability in uncertain times. However, selling back physical gold can be complex and costly, despite its appeal as a tangible and valuable asset. So, yeah, that's the thing. If you invest in gold, if you're going to go like long term on this as a hedge against the US dollar, probably a pretty smart play. I'm not giving in financial advice, right? I think, right, I always see that on TV and on streams. You always have to say, I'm not giving financial advice. Like, I'm not giving medical advice. I don't know why you need that, that you have to say that, but apparently you do. But the thing is, I mean, if you've got a $2,000 bar and things happen and you have to sell it, well, that you have to sell $2,000 worth, right? I mean, it might be a little more practical if you're getting this, that you might need some of that money in the future. Maybe silver bars might be a little more practical, because you could sell a couple bars. You need $100, you can sell a couple silver bars and get that money. If it's $2,000 a bar, that's a lot. But these things are selling out, and I can't believe it sold over $100 million worth in the last 3 months. Wow, that's crazy. So I just wanted to alert you to that. I guess one of the appeals about Costco and the gold bar that they're selling is it has a lot less fees than you would pay if you were to, say, go to your local gold dealer and try to buy it. I looked at buying silver one time, and I went to a silver shop, and I'm like, okay, I want to get these. And then it was like, yeah, well, there's the spot price, but each coin they wanted like an extra $5 or something. And I was like, well, that doesn't sound like a good deal. I don't know. So I got to pay $5. I got to pay like 25% commission or something silly like that just to get this coin. I don't know. Maybe it was just that one store. I don't really understand buying precious metals. It's not really my thing. More into crypto. So, but I just wanted to bring this up to you to know what is available to you. And if you are interested in gold bar, this seems to be the best deal going right now. So anyway, we got more bad news. Yeah, I think we got more bad news. Yikes. Obesity, diabetes rates in the U.S. have surged since 2019, hitting 38.4% and 13.6% respectively. Eating habits, especially among certain age groups, have worsened with a decline in healthy eating and produce consumption. Exercise habits have held steady, but high cholesterol and subjective health measures have worsened. These changes may be linked to the pandemic-induced shifts in behavior. Urgent action is needed to promote healthier eating choices in various settings. These declining health trends carry personal and economic implications, including increased healthcare costs and absenteeism among workers with poor physical health. So this is one of the things that we don't often think about, about getting in shape. But the better shape you're in, the better cardiovascular shape that you're in, the more, you're able to get out and move and exercise, you're less susceptible to being ill, right? So the flu, colds, COVID, all those things don't affect you as much as when you're not in shape. So if you can get a little bit better shape, you're going to be doing much, much, much better. And this can turn into a big deal because, perhaps you don't get as ill, you don't have to take as many days off from work, right? So then you can use your vacation days to actually go on vacation rather than using your vacation days because you're sick. That's no good. So there's lots of benefits to this. Now, for me, as someone that I taught 2 fitness classes this morning prior to this show, it has done more for my mental health than anything else. I still need to lose weight. I at the beginning of the year to now, I'm pretty much the same as I was at the beginning of the year last year. So doing a lot of exercise may not necessarily mean that you lose the weight. There's lots on that. I do think if you concentrate on it more, if my New Year's resolution were to do it and I worked on losing weight as much as I did on live streaming, I might have a different result. But I do want you to think about that. It's not just weight, okay? We get kind of obsessed with that. It's about how our insides work, how our heart works. And the other pitch is the more cardio you do, right, everything is connected. Your brain is connected to your heart. It's all connected. So if you get more blood flow through your body because you're doing some Zumba, right, or you're going on a hike, you're walking the dog, you're doing all these things, you're pumping more blood through your body, you're getting more blood through your brain. For me, I've found that it puts me in a much better mood. And when I'm in a better mood, I can make better choices in my life. And so that's my pitch to you, to see that health across the board in the U.S. has just been doing a nosedive. I would love it if somebody important would kind of make this a national thing. I made this pitch years ago for Kamala Harris. I said, Kamala, you're the vice president. You could help this country in a great way by once a week having like a fitness class on the lawn of the White House. Invite all the moms that are home during the day or whatever. You could live stream it out. Get the best fitness instructors in the country there. You could probably even have, Pitbull show up once. You could have, other people show up. Have different people show up, different celebrities show up to dance or exercise or work out, and just kind of make exercise a national trend. But I don't see anybody that seems to care about that at all. I don't see anybody pushing the presidential fitness awards. right? If you remember those from back in the day. I remember getting the Presidential Fitness Award. You know, you had to do so many push-ups and so many pull-ups and rope climb, of all things. And, you know, run around the track in a certain amount of time. You get a little award when you were a kid for presidential fitness. I would love to see that brought back. I would love it if some popular person would make this a thing. I think it would be cool if AOC or MTG or someone would you know, have a national referendum on getting in shape. It's going to be good for the country. The more people that are in better shape, that means that healthcare is going to be more affordable for everyone because we're going to be less sick. But there's only so much I can do. But I wanted you all to just be aware of how much health has gone down since the pandemic, and just how much I believe in working out is a good thing. So if you believe me for my take on the news, not everything. I don't need everyone to agree with me on everything. But if you think, oh, that Tom guy's pretty good at, you know, interpreting the news or whatever, maybe you'll believe me on this working out thing. Perhaps. We'll see. Anyway, we have some good news, I guess. Deals with Google. I can't believe Google would be doing something positive, but looks like they are. So Google is altering how it stores location data in maps, refusing to comply with broad geofence warrants that request user info within an area at a given time. This protects privacy, but doesn't block specific user data requests. This change follows court scrutiny and bypasses potential legislation in California. Google's a prime target for these warrants due to its data volume. Other tech firms receive similar requests, but Apple's privacy measures prevent compliance. Geofence warrants have been crucial in major cases, but this move sparks debates about its impact on investigations. So essentially what this is talking about is your location data. Now, you know you can turn that off, right? So what happens is, let's say there's a crime in a certain area. Cops can just go to Google, and I'm oversimplifying this, okay? Don't hold me to this 100%. But cops go and they say, hey, you know, who was in the area at this time? Who was within these cell phone towers at this time? Give us a list of everybody who was there. Google says, all right, here you go. Here's all the information. Is that a Fourth Amendment violation? Who knows? Who knows? That might be a reason not to have Google on your phone. That might be a reason to have your location data turned off. And don't be one of those people that says, if you got nothing to hide, then it's no big deal. I'm sorry, but that's just a terrible argument, you know. What would people say, like, you know, something about freedom of speech, like, you know, like, I can't even remember. I'm drawing a blank. I'm a little brain dead this morning. Anyway, so anyway, they're changing how their system is set up so that they are not going to be giving that data out. They're not storing it in the same way to just hand it over to the police whenever they ask. That's a good thing for our privacy. Now, if you're a little bit more concerned about that, you may, you know, there may be other things that you can do, such as having more than one phone, right? Having a burner phone. You have your phone at home, right? And then maybe you turn that off, put it in an RFID bag, right? And then when you're in your car, you have a burner phone that you're using for maps, or using it for Waze or whatever, for driving directions, things like that. Eventually it'll get linked to you anyway. But, there's lots of things that you can do to try to keep this data to yourself. Because frankly, this kind of thing, in my opinion, you should probably get a warrant for. You should probably go to a judge if you're going to ask for this type of information. And in the past, well, I didn't really have to do that, So anyway, it's nice to see the changes coming to Google's geolocation data, how they store it and how it's distributed to law enforcement. Yeah, anyway. I don't know what else I have to say about that. But lastly, I guess we need some good news of the day. And this is some good news. Country star Luke Combs learned that a fan, Nicole Harness, faced a massive fine for unknowingly using his likeness on merchandise. Combs, deeply apologetic, stepped in after a lawsuit from his management. His management's contracted company resulted in a $250,000 judgment against this lady. Now, despite her health struggles and limited earnings from selling a few tumblers, she was held accountable due to being mistakenly lumped in with larger illegal vendors. Combs not only personally gave her $11,000 to alleviate her worries, but also decided to sell an official tumbler to support her medical bills. He plans to meet her at a show to apologize in person. Harness missed legal notices due to email issues, highlighting differences in legal proceedings between Illinois and Florida. So what happened here? And he made a social media post on Instagram or something. It's funny seeing Luke Combs doing the green screen in front and like pointing up, like all those bad like TikTok videos. Just kind of funny. But what happened was this lady had made like a Luke Combs tumbler that she put on for sale on Amazon. And I think I read that she sold 18 of them. 18 total of some little plastic glasses that had a bunch of superfan Luke Combs stuff on it. And then was sued. She didn't even realize the thing, and they just did a judgment against her for $250,000. And Luke Combs was very apologetic and said, look, my company is supposed to do these things against like huge multi-millionaire international companies that are like selling fake merchandise, and to go after them. They're just not supposed to go after my fans for something as little as this. This is crazy. And so he got him to not pay that, and he's going to help her out. She was struggling with some medical bills. She was trying to find different ways of making a little money. And so he stepped in, was very apologetic, and said in the future he's going to have her and her family come to his show and meet him and all that to apologize to her. But that's got to be really hard, right? You think you're doing a little thing. You sell a couple things on Amazon, 18 tumblers. You're not making any money on that, and then to have a judgment against you for $250,000, that's got to be just the stress that can put on someone is just overwhelming. And so I don't think, in my opinion, I don't think that this was all set up so he could do this to get good press, okay? I believe that he is being sincere by stating that he didn't know anything about this, and as soon as he found out about it, he talked to everyone, and they tried to set everything straight. That's really awesome, because that's what you want from your stars, right? a lot of times they say don't ever meet your heroes. You know, they're sure to disappoint you. But in this case, man, Luke Combs really seems like a stand-up guy. He's had so much success. He's had so much success this last year. It's been a very successful year for him. So for him to do this, I really I find it honorable, and I'd like to see more of our celebrities stepping in and doing the right thing. So I think that this is good news. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Stick around in the after show. I'll be going through all your comments, all that good stuff. Yeah. But I decided this week I'm only going to do. I'm a bit overwhelmed with personal things that I'm doing this week. So I'll be back on Wednesday for another show, Wednesday and Friday. But until then, hope you all have a good one. Peace. Yeah. All right. All right. Put another $1 in the all right jar. Who knows? Maybe next year we'll get it sorted out. Anyway, yeah, so at the beginning, early bird gets the worm today, Tom. Yeah, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. Yeah, again, if I knew anybody that was a streamer that knew how to get all these settings right, man, I tell you, we'd be rolling. I thought today was going to be the first day I would actually go live at the right time. Oh well. Oh well. Keep plugging away. Keep trying. Less is more when it comes to the government. I agree with that. Guess I missed that stock tip too. You know, it's funny. My mom talked about getting Costco, and she didn't. But she was talking about it at the beginning of the year. Bitcoin is supposed to double in 5 years. I'm going to try that. I am very pro Bitcoin. I don't know what's going to happen with it. I believe in it, but I don't know. I don't know. I think it is a good hedge against the U.S. dollar. That's for sure. But Erie Fairy says I really get sick like maybe every 3 to 5 years, but only when multiple major life-changing things happen at the same time. I just get a lot of migraines. Yeah, see, that's the thing is, and this is what I believe. Talk to your doctor. You know, don't take me for medical advice or whatever. But I believe that the better shape that we happen to be in, our body is able to deal with stress better. Okay? And so a lot of times when you have extra stress happening, that's when your body just kind of gets knocked out. That's my belief. I don't know. You might try leaving that phone at home when doing a crime knowing this. Well, yeah, for, you know, all of my big art heists and everything, obviously no one can bring a phone. You know, I make sure the entire crew does not have a phone when we do these big art heists. So, yeah. Who's Luke Combs? Never heard of him. Luke Combs, big country star, and he's got just nice songs. I'm trying to think of, you know, off the top of my head. Let me just punch it in here, and of course, wow. See, When It Rains, It Pours. He did, Luke Combs did the cover of Tracy Chapman's Fast Car this year. That was a big hit. She's Got the Best of Me. That was a Beer Never Broke My Heart. That was a great song. Kind of comparing women with beer. You know, he can always count on beer because beer never breaks his heart. But he's had just a bunch of just, you know, they're Nashville country, you know, hits. So if you're not into that style of music, it's not really for you. But my goodness, he's got dozens of hits. Yeah, When It Rains, It Pours. Some of his songs almost sound like they're hard to tell the difference whether they're a parody of country music or they're actually country music. So they're very, I would say, cliche. But I don't mind that. I kind of like wholesome cliche Americana stuff. I find that endearing. That's me. Lucid says $2 in the jar. You said it twice. Yes, indeed. Ox says, got an alert on Rumble. It usually arrives at 12:03. Yeah. Again, today, my plan was to... I thought... So, obviously, there was one other toggle switch that I have to figure out what to do. But I thought I could start the stream, like streaming to YouTube and streaming to Rumble, but it wouldn't actually start over there. So then I could make sure that everything was working, and then it would start at noon. Unfortunately, it just started automatically. So I still got to figure out what I'm doing. I thought today was the day. Didn't exactly work. Embarrassing I'm an hour south of Nashville. Never heard of him. He's probably one of the biggest country stars in the country right now. So, yeah. Yeah, and like I say, I you know, he won the Grammy this year. So, yeah, but he's had just a ton of songs, and they're just kind of, I don't know, I'd say like wholesome, nice, cliche Americana country songs. And I don't mean that in a negative way, you know. Gold seems like a scam to me. Gold isn't a real investment as it doesn't really produce anything. It's only a hedge against inflation. Any non-cash asset is a hedge. Yeah, but in times, if you look historically, gold tends to do really well when economies are doing terrible. And that's kind of what it looks like is going to be happening, especially with the U.S. dollar, now that so many countries, since Joe Biden did away with the petrodollar, which I think nobody talks about in the press. I think it's probably one of the biggest mistakes that's been made in the past 50 years, honestly, allowing that to happen. Insane to do that. Yeah. Or you can go into debt to buy assets, and then the debt devalues over time. That's true. Debt is really good if there's a lot of inflation. The more debt you have, you actually do a little better. I know that this is counterintuitive, but like, let's say I borrow $1 million, right? And I take that $1 million and now I can buy like a house for $1 million, for example, right? Now, if everything inflates very quickly, if the dollar loses its value, now, like let's say 10 years from now, I'm making payments on this $1 million, but that $1 million is only worth, like say $500,000, right? So I'm doing a terrible job explaining this. In my head, I know exactly what I mean to say, and I know that I'm not explaining it well. But yes, I will say that, yeah, people that are very wealthy don't just take their money and hold on to it and put it in the bank. they get more debt to get more stuff, because stuff doesn't really lose its value, right? Like houses and properties and things like that. They don't lose its value as much. If you just had the money sitting in the bank, the money's worth less and less each year. You get a debt, and then essentially that debt, even though it's the same number, it's worth less and less each year. So that's one way to think about it. Impacts our investigations. You mean the Fourth Amendment is inconvenient to investigators? Yeah. That is the whole reason we have that amendment. I know. That's why I said it with a bit of sarcasm there. What's up, Rev? Good to see you. Good to see you. So, and lastly, I wanted to ask everybody if you believe in prayer and if you believe in good vibes, could you do me a favor for, say, like the next 2 hours or so? Can you just send some good vibes to my mom? She's going into surgery, and probably in about 15 minutes, and could really use some good vibes. Some good vibes. So if you could send her some healing vibes and whatnot, I would really appreciate that. It means something to me. And I wanted to say, lastly, I had a good time doing the night show on Friday. I think it went well. If you didn't see it, I introduced a new segment in it where I had some tweets from dead comedians. I thought it was pretty funny. I don't know how everybody thought of it. But I used some AI to create the sound of some dead celebrities. And, you know, I'll just play one of them for you right now for this new segment I called Ex Post Reacto. So this is like a dead celebrity. So something happened in the news. Let's see if I can remember. Oh, I need the setup. I need the setup for the punchline. Let me see if I can remember what the story was. Oh man, it's not going to be funny without the setup. Oh yes. So the setup is that they've opened impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden, and this is what Gilbert Gottfried had to say. This is what Gilbert Gottfried had to say about Joe Biden's impeachment. So,
I guess they found out Joe's been secretly running a banana stand. Hashtag arrested development.
So there you go. That's a little taste of the new segment I made for the nighttime show. I really liked working on coming up with something new and to try to make the show better. So I am just going to hang off this week. I got a lot going on for me. And Midnight Americana will be back on Friday, midnight on the East Coast, 9 p.m. on the West Coast. I would love it if you could come by and join me then. But I just need a little bit more time to put some things together. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. I'll be back on Wednesday. It's a Big Idea Wednesday, so I hope you can join me then. Until then, peace. Hey, thanks everybody.